Moving on, I want to move on to the Gayle King thing. So recently, as you all know, Kobe Bryant, arguably one of the greatest basketball players, died. And something happened, and I'm glad you brought it up last time, Danny, because you had brought up the fact that some people were bringing up his legacy and things that might have happened in his past 20 years ago.
Yeah. Right.
Now, recently, Gayle King, who is one of Oprah's friends,
Oprah's best friend.
Oh yeah, Oprah's best friends.
Yeah.
Came out interviewing Lisa Leslie. Lisa Leslie is one of Kobe's best friends.
She's a baller.
She's also she's a legend, basketball legend. She also played for Los Angeles.
She's a WNBA player.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And so she's interviewing Lisa right now. Keep in mind, there's a bigger interview, but
it was like an hour.
Yes, but this one clip, CBS decided to release.
They were wrong for that.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm about to play.
I don't think so.
I think they were.
It's been said that his legacy is complicated because of sexual assault charge, which was dismissed in 2003, 2004. Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player?
It's not complicated for me at all. Even if there's a few times that we've been at a club at the same time, Kobe's not the kind of guy, never been like, you know, Lisa, go get that girl or tell her or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that. Mm-hmm. Kobe's, he was never like that. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible.
Okay, at that point, she's inserting her opinion.
I just don't believe that. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering
and she keeps going on.
Considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
I think that the media should be more respectful at this time. It's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think it's something that we should keep hanging over his legacy. I mean, it went to trial.
Yeah, it was dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify. So it was dismissed.
And I think that's how we should leave it.
That's where I have a problem
considering
with Gayle King. I don't have a problem asking about Kobe. It's part of his history. It wasn't a case, but the instigating and
do you think she was instigating?
She was instigating.
No,
it wasn't.
She was doing her job.
It wasn't doing her job. Here's why I said it wasn't doing her job, because so you've asked Lisa. Obviously, you have her on there for certain reasons, and Kobe's one of the reasons.
She kept pressing.
So you've said, "Hey, Lisa, Kobe, was accused of this back in the days." What's your take on that? Lisa, obviously being his friend, comes out to say, "Hey, he's not that kind of guy. I don't believe, blah, blah."
She said, I never saw.
He never showed me tendencies that he's that kind of guy.
Right.
And girls kind of like, well, you might never know. And she said, you know what, you're right. It's true, But I just, personally, I can speak from my experience, I don't see that. Then she asked about, is this something we should be talking about or is it history? And she says, you know what? You guys have had so many years
which I actually thought was a valid
to ask this questions, and you didn't. Now that he's dead, he's not here to defend himself. But then when she goes on, and Lisa said, the case was dismissed. To be honest, they're rapists, they're criminals. There are a lot of people who are walking the street. Yep. But I'm someone who respects the law of the court. At the moment, the court says innocent.
He died
guilty.
He died an innocent man.
That is it.
The reality,
so now, Danny,
is that it doesn't matter whether you were accused or not accused. It's still a part of his legacy. People are still going to talk about it, right? And I feel like it's right, and I think it's fair. I think that Lisa should have anticipated it. If she didn't, she knew that was going to be part of the conversation.
Why should she anticipate it?
Because they're
She's talking about her best friend that just died.
Because they're best friends. He just died. Those two reasons right there. So she should have known. If she didn't want to have the conversation, they go through the questions prior, right? They go through what things we want off limits, what we, how deep I plan on going into this. Maybe she didn't know exactly, but she could have said Kobe's off limits.
Or his rape or whatever is off limits.
Off limits. But
nothing wrong with what Lisa did, though.
No.
No,
We're not saying
Yeah.
I'm
Lisa
just
was
saying
wrong.
that they typically, when they have these interviews, they know what they're going into. They're not just free.
I understand.
It's not
Okay.
free.
Yeah, but then it's not like they know the exact
me-
line of
No, they
questioning.
don't know the
and it's not like they
question,
know that.
But I'm pretty sure somebody prepped her and her people to say, look, they're going to ask you questions about Kobe.
Yeah, but then there's no way she could have anticipated her constantly because
wasn't
she kept going again.
It was
at
only
it.
3 questions she asked. It wasn't
three.
constantly.
Wait, that's
Yeah.
okay. So here's
It
the
was
thing,
3
Danny. I'm
questions.
interviewing you about your friend who just
Yeah.
died. Who had? It's not even alleged because he beat the case, but he had a rape case which
20 years ago.
20 years ago,
Well,
which
that's
see,
debatable.
this- we need to take-
that's
we see, we
debatable
gotta take
about
away
how
this
it really
sentiment.
got off because my opinion on it, well, not even to get
keyword, my opinion.
I'm just,
Yes.
well, I have to say my opinion
Yes.
because I can't
She
say it as
wasn't there,
fact.
right.
Yes.
But we don't know outside of the fact that why did she drop the case?
Okay.
Is it because she was being intimidated by them, his
Or maybe
people?
it was
he
false.
settled. Maybe it wasn't. My thing.
But you're
I have an
speculating
issue-
now.
right? But it's okay to
She said
speculate
she
because we
doesn't
don't know.
But
we
you
don't
know-
know. We've
you know,
never seen this
settling
woman
doesn't
again.
mean-
She's
settling
never
doesn't
come
mean-
back out
Of
into the
course.
public.
Settling doesn't mean you're guilty.
Right.
You can file a sexual
Well,
harassment
right,
case
but
to
what
me
I'm
here,
saying-
and because I'm big enough and I understand that it's easier for me to just
just
settle,
settle, right.
than have this drag. It's a possibility. It doesn't mean I'm guilty. It just means
But
you.
who?
So continue.
Honestly, I'll just say it. For my opinion with this situation, the only reason I think it's valid, but the only reason I don't believe that it should be dragged out, him talking about this incident that happened in 2003, is because I just believe there are 2 young people who didn't understand the meaning of consent.
There's
Right.
that also.
And
yes.
that is not what people talk about. They just say, "Oh, she was raped." But the reality is that okay, she didn't want to continue at a certain point.
It's
That's
possible,
something
yes.
that is
It's possible,
in the news.
yes.
That's documented. So it's kind of hard to have these type of conversations about it.
Yeah.
To me,
So so you've brought that point up now, where it was 2 people who you feel probably misunderstood the idea
Each
of
other,
consent. This was
right.
years ago.
Right.
This was youngins, and times were different at that time. Now, obviously, it came out as he raped her, and that case was dropped. He beat the case.
was considered rape if you don't stop.
Right.
True. Granted, and what you're saying might have been what happened, and it might have not been what happened. We
Right.
don't know.
But he said
the
that.
case
He made a statement
That
saying
what?
that he didn't understand what he said let's find
That he
his-
didn't
like,
understand.
He didn't fully understand her communication. She was
Okay.
trying to communicate to
So,
stop. And he said that it was his fault for not understanding
either
her
ways,
communication.
the girl dropped the case.
Right.
He beat the case. Now it's part of his history. It's
Right.
always there, and
Right.
since then, Kobe has actually tried to live his
Yeah,
life
and I
in
agree
a
with
way
you.
where
Right.
now let's Gayle King is fine to ask any question, but when you start
I don't-
poking into
How
when
did
you
she
ask
poke
when you
into?
ask and say, how was it like, and you say to me it was, and I say, well, you wouldn't know though. Of
That's
course, she knows
valid,
she wouldn't
though.
know.
If she
It-
wouldn't
it's
know.
almost
It's
like,
like-
it's almost
it's
like,
like-
she's supposed to be a journalist. She's supposed to be objective. You're
Yeah, she's
supposed
not
to-
objective.
You're not supposed to like try to.
It's like
That
how,
is
some.
an-
It's
that
not
is
an
Let me-
objective.
I let you
was
guys finish. Let me.
objective, though.
Yeah.
You notice how I let you guys like talk on. Like let me.
Go on,
when I
Hector.
start
Yeah,
talking,
go
let's
on.
not try to
Are
cut
you
each
Go
other
on,
off.
go on,
What?
go on, go on, go
We
on.
didn't even. this
Let's not try to
situation-
cut each other off.
She said she
So-
want to steal your AirPods.
I thought that was
So-
fine. That felt.
So the way I see it is very simple. Look, I get it. It's part of his history. The only thing that I take issue with is the timing of it. I'm keeping the same energy. The same thing happened with XXX Tentacion when people were grieving him. This young guy that died.
Yeah.
And if that one, you can even
It's even
argue-
more recent.
It was even more recent. This was 20 years
But that
ago.
was an active case.
Right.
So that was
Yeah,
more recent. So
which
that's
is-
fine. That's why we said it's more
His situation
recent.
Was
Yes.
similar, but it's alleged.
But that's why we're
It-
claiming that
it's-
even that is fine because it was more recent. It was active.
Yeah,
and
but-
He
going
never
on.
got his day. In
But you
court to
see,
even defend
the
himself.
fact that he just died, I still defended people that were aggrieved, that were pissed that they were trying to slander his name in death. Look, Kobe is dead. Like you cannot try him again. He's a dead man.
Even
Like,
if it was
so what
alive,
are we
you can't
doing?
try him for the same
What are
thing.
we?
Right, it
So
was dropped.
so what's the purpose of trying to now?
That was part of his life. No matter what.
So what's the
whenever you
purpose
die,
of-
that's, things are going to be brought up about you that you
so
did in
the
your
question,
life,
but he
though.
it's been barely a week. His body's
But
not
that's
even
how
his
it
body's not
works.
even
Well,
cold
I also
yet.
would like to say too that his wife. Remember that his wife was divorcing him.
How's that
Yeah,
relevant?
The reason I say it's because because Lisa's trying to say that she's never seen this side of him.
Yes.
And seen the side of him, but obviously there was something that was there because his wife was divorcing. Well, at the time she was divorcing him for infidelity.
Yeah. But how is that relevant?
Because it's relevant because he probably was carrying on in this manner throughout.
You're speculating in the
This is
game.
we don't even know what year Lisa was talking about when she's talking about this whole.
I'm thinking they're talking about
You know,
when
it
they
might
were young.
be, it might be, but it might have been after the case. But it might have been after the
When
case.
they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
This is what she's saying.
But Vanessa
But
went
I'm
on
just
to have
saying
4.
that he has more money to cover up these issues.
It does.
Fair, but Vanessa went on to have 4 children with him. So clearly,
So-
she was comfortable.
They
Yeah, she was.
reconciled.
So how is
A lot
her
of
wanting
women
to
stay
leave
with
him?
their-
And
men
there's a
and women
difference
stay with their
between
partners
being a
after they
cheater
cheat.
and being a rapist too. They're two different things.
Matter.
Now, hold on, but when Gayle says you wouldn't know, and yes, she's right, you wouldn't know.
Right.
All right, leave it at that. Obviously, at this point, you can see Leslie is like,
Uncomfortable.
It's not even just uncomfortable. She's like, you know what? All right. When she says to you, you know what? You guys had 30 years to talk about this.
Right.
At that point, to be honest, a journalist who's not out to get blood would just be like, cool.
I don't think she was out to get
Nope.
blood.
But you then go, oh yeah, the case was dropped because the case he beat the case.
That was a fact.
Lisa never said anything otherwise.
But
Why
that was
do you
a
have at
fact.
that point?
But when
That's
you
what I'm
say-
saying.
Listen.
Why are we
That's-
Why are
trying
we trying
this
to
case?
say? Why we
Okay.
Alright.
trying?
So
to-
now
you
Yeti
guys
talk.
have said
Yeti
all
says,
that.
yeah.
The same could be said for Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman. He can say, "Oh, he didn't kill." We clearly know Zimmerman killed Trayvon.
No, but Zimmerman is not free that he didn't kill Trayvon.
He was.
No, let her
he
finish
was.
now. Let her finish.
What was it?
Murder. He just didn't murder him. Was the case?
No,
What
he
was-
said he murdered him in self-defense.
In self-defense,
And
exactly,
was
and he beat the
defending his
case.
Community.
He beat the case as that. It's not that he didn't
That's
say
what
he
I'm
didn't
saying.
kill him.
but
People
Yeti,
can
finish,
also, He
finish.
can also spin and say, "Oh, I beat the case. I wasn't guilty of it."
And he does.
And he does say that
Yes.
all the time.
And that's-
Yes.
But we all know that he killed the boy.
Yeah, but
That's not what he's
how is
saying.
this-
He's
And
saying
we
he
also
killed.
can infer
I'm
that
trying
it
to
has
figure
do
out
with
what-
Yeah, what does this
Well,
have to?
well,
Yeah.
technicality in the court of law can be spun any way we want
But
to.
the court of law admits that Zimmerman killed Martin. It's just they bought into his reasoning. That's all. That's all he beats the case for.
I
His
don't
reasoning.
always
But
believe-
yet
I
he-
don't believe. Right, go ahead.
When you are tried, whether you are found guilty or not, I don't necessarily always believe that should be the end of it all. There's so many cases where people have been accused of something.
Okay, but why didn't Gayle
gotten
King not
off,
bring this
or
up in the
been
last 30
charged.
years? Why did
But
you wait till he
because
died?
Kobe didn't die then, or nothing.
Okay,
has
so
come
when
up.
Kobe,
So you don't-
so when
so you-
Kobe was alive,
so-
when he
okay,
retired, why didn't they do this when he retired?
So can I ask
you
you a
know
question?
that
Okay.
when people die, people bring up their life story, right? We
Yeah.
write a whole tribute,
You
obituary,
eulogize
right?
them.
You eulogize, whatever you just said.
Yeah.
That, but that happens. It's fair. I mean,
It's
sad-
fair game
I'm
to do
sad
it
that
while
he
people are
died.
grieving.
We can't pick and choose when people are gonna discuss
Right.
their life, though. He
And-
just died. We're gonna discuss his life, good, bad, and indifferent. We're gonna discuss everything
Now,
that he did in his
If
life.
someone close to you, right? Let
Right.
me just ask someone close to you,
I'll be
someone
upset,
very very
granted.
dear to you,
Right.
right? Just recently died,
Right.
and then you find the media is constantly bringing up things from 20 years ago. Now, keep in mind, this guy was 41 years old when he died. They take this one instance
When
from
he
his
was
life, this
like-
one tiny
How old was he,
snapshot.
like 19 or 20,
I can
right?
say
Yes.
that
This-
because
this-
go ahead. I was saying because I just had someone in my family recently died, and I use that as an example to
Yeah.
say that.
Sorry for your loss, but
Thank you. But my thing is that he wasn't a saint.
right.
And when
And
we
people say
talk
that.
about him, we talk about him for who he was, and he was real. And those are things that I remember him by.
But that's your choice as a family member. You're not making
We
that
all
choice for
do.
other people.
But
All
she
of us
won't be
are-
upset.
But that's you.
If,
But
but
then-
if
people
a
outside-
stranger
Okay, so-
said the same thing about
so-
him,
I
she
would
would
say
say
it
that's
is
what
what
he
it
was.
is.
So here's the,
That's who he was.
This is what I'm
but,
saying.
but was he that person up until he died?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kobe, that's where the
We're talking
difference
about
is.
20
Kobe,
years ago.
20 years ago, Kobe did. Let's assume.
Okay.
But it
Kobe
doesn't matter. It's
tried.
still
All right,
a
let's
part of his
the
life.
My
worst
only
case.
issue is the timing.
The worst case scenario is that Kobe tried to have sex and she said no, and that's what happened. That's the worst that could have happened, and he still had sex with her. And for whatever reason, maybe my money, influence, whatever, he beat the case. Now, since that point on, moving forward,
He's changed.
Kobe has
I know.
changed.
He's a great
Kobe
man.
has
I know
physically.
that.
In fact, Kobe has been
Exemplary,
He's been,
yes.
he won
Like, he's
NBA
been-
player fighting for.
He won an Oscar.
You know,
right. A lot of
we look
things
at
he's
Bill
done.
Cosby. Bill Cosby did his thing. Nobody knew about it. Went on with his life, and then we start finding out that this guy is doing this repetitive thing.
Right. And while talking down
While
other
talk, yeah,
people.
he's doing
Right.
this repetitively. This guy's a monster. These guys keep doing it. Yes, go to jail. Kobe was that one incident, and since
we're
then,
not saying
Kobe.
Kobe was
Wait,
a
hold on,
Cosby,
hold
though.
on. No, I'm just saying. And since then, Kobe has done that. Now he's dead. You talk about his history, but like I said, this is my opinion too, and I feel like this opinion is why a lot of people were talking about it too. Is it seemed like Gayle King was trying to pry.
I don't think she
this
was.
whole
She was doing her job as a
you
journalist.
say she doesn't. Now a lot of people do get mad at her because easy example is Harvey Weinstein. Is you guys have not interviewed
but
anyone close to Weinstein to ask, and if you guys did, will you ask them the same questions?
Of course.
Gayle
And
King
I
is
think-
not asking that question.
But I think.
By the way,
I mean,
Monique just came out recently to bash Oprah again about the
but-
same thing.
but Can I? Okay, so
Same thing.
So do you think Harvey Weinstein going through a trial right now will give anybody an interview? Of course he won't.
But friends of Harvey Weinstein, do you think Gayle King till she dies? I don't think so.
Yes, I think so.
She's friends with him.
And
She's
how
not.
do you know? A lot of people are friends with him.
Oprah
in
is
the
friends
industry.
with. Then they don't talk. Have you seen how they are all quiet?
Friends with him.
Do you see how they are quiet?
Harvey Weinstein was a big.
But you see how they're all quiet? Do you see how they're all quiet?
I want to say that everybody was kind
But
of.
do you see how they're all
touching him in
quiet?
one sort
They're
of
all
way or
quiet
another.
because that's their friend.
So
But everybody, I feel like even.
So don't be hypocritical.
Who's been hypocritical?
You're all quiet, not talking about this. You're interviewing Leslie, prying about Kobe, but you're never going to interview Harvey or
How
his
do you know
friends.
they haven't asked to interview him though? We don't know
so-
that. Wait.
okay.
Wait. How do we know they haven't asked to interview him? He won't grant an interview right now because
You can
he's
interview
going
his
to-
It's an
friends.
active case.
But
We can
his
talk
friends
about
wouldn't
it.
talk right now either
Have
because he
they-
has an
as Gayle-
active case.
as
though.
Gayle King talked
He
about
has-
it.
Yes, Oprah talked about it.
What did Oprah say?
said he was a bully. She said that.
Oprah said he was a bully.
Yes,
Okay.
there's an article that she talked about that she knew. She didn't know the rape stuff, obviously, but she knew him as a bully. That he even tried to bully her.
According
She
to Monique, Oprah is a bully though.
yeah.
Okay,
So-
But
but
you-
most
you-
people that are billionaires didn't get there being friends with everybody.
Fair.
We know
fair,
that.
Fair. And you were about to say.
So I have a question though, because the only issue that I don't have a problem with her asking the question, but the question I feel should have followed up with the fact of be specific with who you're referring to as far as sexual abuse victims, because that's really what I believe it's about. Do
No.
you think that it's complicated for the sexual abuse victims to have this man who's allegedly done something to a woman still be put up on this pedestal? It shouldn't just be. I feel like she
The one
narrowed
woman
it in.
who
I feel
the
like we
one
keep-
woman-
you're talking about
why, and the reason why I say that is because that's why I feel like there's the complicated. It's complicated for some people, not because of just that. It's just the fact that he allegedly violated a woman, allegedly, and we're still praising him.
But
Guys,
that's
I feel like the victim here is not about any. It's about someone just died. The real victim is the person that died from a helicopter crash. Why are we
Who has
talking
a- who
about
has a
something from?
family too.
It's the time.
we agreed
Look,
that
I
the
get
fact
it.
that the TMZ them telling
It's let people just
without the
grieve.
family
Is all I'm
knowing is
saying.
bad. Now you're
can't
dealing with
tell
death.
people what to discuss and what not to discuss.
But
That's
you
the
have-
nature.
And
of
that's
the
fine,
beast.
but
You
then,
have to-
then people can react accordingly. Now,
But
here's-
then-
now here's where I agree with you on the part of Oprah. I felt like, of course, I was one of those people that felt like, okay, maybe
You mean Gayle?
Oprah and Gayle.
They're not the same people.
Yes, but I.
No, I think it's
so-
all about Weinstein, right?
So the whole thing about Weinstein, I feel like is a false equivalency. This idea that but she hasn't interviewed Harvey Weinstein, so she can't criticize black black men that
I
have
don't
been,
think it's about black. I just think she just
no,
Kobe
but,
just not have
but
cup
people
of tea.
but people
Yeah.
have made it about that. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the reaction again, there was this huge reaction after this interview, and they're saying that okay, Oprah and her people
They don't
keep
like black people.
coming after black
Which is
people that
not
have been
true,
accused.
but okay.
I think that's BS because
It
if he
is
did it, he
BS,
did it.
right.
And then now people have started trying to use it to defend Bill Cosby, which I
is
No,
even
that's
BS.
BS
That's some
too.
which I
fucked
even
up
think
shit.
is
That's
more
What?
ridiculous.
Egregious.
People said
Now, people came at her so bad. I mean, she's gotten death threats.
threats.
I
Like,
again,
what?
no, that's
again, I
BS,
find what Gayle King did tacky. I find it unprofessional.
I think it was
because
an agenda.
because
She
I
had
felt
an
like she
agenda.
inserted
She
inserted
It's neither
her.
too.
I feel like she inserted her own
I feel like
personal
Kobe's
bias.
not her
but-
cup of tea, so she's like.
But she
ah,
said
I'll
it
do
though.
yeah.
Did you watch the video that she after
That-
the?
that's even the thing that pissed
So
me
that's
off
what
the
I'm
most.
about to if you guys let
Yeah,
me
go on,
finish,
go on.
I will play these things. You guys cut me off all
Corey,
the time.
go on now.
We're all talking, Corey.
All
What?
the
Stop
time.
playing the victim
I
right now,
let-
please.
I let
Why
you
you
all
your feelings
talk.
We're having
today?
a
I
conversation.
let you all
where
talk.
are you in your feelings today?
because
We're
this,
all talking.
because
Cut
the
me off
same
just
thing
now.
happened last
Corey.
week. You guys keep cutting me off, and yet you do it a lot.
Corey, look at
a
me.
We're
lot.
all talking.
Please,
Corey, look at me.
Let's just try not to cut each other off. I was about to get to it.
Corey, look at me.
I was about to get to
Just
it.
look at me real quick.
I was about to get to it. What?
But the thing is, too, is
Fuck you. I was about to get to it. So Gayle comes out to defend herself, and then she puts out this clip. That was what I was about to play. Sorry. What's going on with the audio? Hold on.
Gayle has. she has.
Sorry. I'm about to play the audio. Sorry.
It's not gonna work.
It's gonna work.
I've been up reading the comments about the interview I did with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. And I know that if I had only seen the clip that you saw, I'd be extremely angry with me too. I am mortified, I'm embarrassed, and I am very angry. Unbeknownst to me, my network put up a clip from a very wide-ranging interview, totally taken out of context, and when you see it that way, it's very jarring. It's jarring to me. I didn't even know anything about it. I started getting calls. What the hell are you doing? Why did you say this? What is happening? I did not know what people are talking about. So I've been told, or I've been advised, to say nothing. Just let it go. People will drag you. People will troll you. It'll be over in a couple of days. But that's not good enough for me, because I really want people to understand what happened here and how I'm feeling about it. I reached out to Lisa because I know that she's a longtime friend of Kobe's, to talk about his legacy and their friendship. We had a really wide-ranging interview, talked about many things: his career, his passion, his sense of humor, the way he was mentoring other people, how he was starting his next chapter. It was wide-ranging. And yes, we talked about that court case, because that court case has also come up.
Oh, by the way, Snoop Dogg commented on this post, and he goes, B word, you knew what you was doing. Stop playing dumb. Fuck your bosses, your network. I mean, he goes in on her. People were really, really vile. People were being really, really vile. And you know, when I saw this video, I was like, you know what? I forgive you, because I'm like, look, when no one is perfect, and I think she understood the gravity of the fact that this guy just died. Why are you guys laughing?
Go ahead.
No one is perfect. I think she understood the gravity of the fact that this guy died. People were still sensitive, and again, it comes back to the timing. I feel like if this was done any other time later on, I can understand, but this guy just died. People were grieving. With that said, this guy comes out, Bill Cosby, right? Because people were trying to defend Bill Cosby.
Read the Snoop first. Read the Snoop one first.
The Snoop?
That's what he was talking about. That's what he because we were referring to the Snoop Dogg's comments.
You want me to play the video?
Not the video. The
It was a video. It was a video. Snoop Dogg. He came out with that's his
before
scarf.
That, he wrote something on Oprah and Weinstein's picture, and Weinstein and Gayle's picture. You didn't see that?
So what was he saying?
He was saying, "Oh, where y'all? The way you guys have been treating black men are horrible."
He was being vile.
He called them all sorts of names,
and then he said, "Free Bill Cosby."
That's what Bill Cosby was
responding to. And then so Bill Cosby, I don't know how he even gets his hands on the phone
his
in
reps
jail.
Now, his reps
He tweets at Snoop Dogg, when they brought me to my gated community and placed me inside of my penthouse, they didn't win, nor did they silence me. It's so sad and disappointing that successful black women are being used to tarnish the image and legacy of successful black men, even in death. See, that I disagree with. I feel like people are trying to use this as a reason to
attack black women and attack Oprah and Gayle especially. Yes,
this is how I see.
That's not what I said.
This is how I see Oprah and
They have selective
Gayle.
choice of who they want to support.
Thank you.
This is how I see Oprah and Gayle.
Thank you.
I don't believe they have a personal agenda against black men. People have said Oprah has had hands in the R. Kelly and this one, but I do believe that Oprah and Gayle, if they don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you. It has nothing to do with your race.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with race.
They just don't fuck with you. That's it. And they don't fuck with R. Kelly or any of these people. I feel like if they did, maybe she won't be involved in it, black or white. Now, to tie this up with Bill Cosby is stupid. Because Bill Cosby did multiple women dirty, and he drugged them, and he did everything. And he's been in jail for a crime he did.
And multiple times. Oh, Bill Cosby, that everybody is now saying, oh, Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby did not was in his if Snoop, before he went to prison in his heyday, if Snoop was on fire, Bill Cosby would not spit on him to put him out.
Yeah.
He talked bad about rappers and other black men. Pull up your pants and all that. Now that's who you're saying.
Which is why it's so,
out of here,
it's so crazy to me that all of a sudden Bill Cosby and Snoop Dogg are allies.
Like he hated you when he was out.
It's crazy.
Now you say free Bill Cosby.
It's crazy.
I beg, sit down somewhere. And Oprah that they're saying does not support black men or black people, anybody. Oprah donated donated 13 million to Morehouse last year.
Yeah,
So please,
I think it's BS.
You know,
I think it's an unfair criticism.
Like I said, like Monique uses Oprah a lot, and I don't think it has to do with her race. I just think Oprah, she probably did something that stepped on Oprah's toes, and Oprah was like, all right, according to her, she's blacklisted.
But not by Oprah.
Oprah and Tyler Perry.
And
both.
What's the other guy's name? There's a bunch of
and I can believe Tyler Perry blacklisting somebody because somebody